Welcome back to Dicey Situations, everybody. As always, I'm your DM, Ryan, joined by my Chaos crew.
Rich playing Theo.
Mark playing Glebnor.
Harout playing Tooluuga.
All right, boys, let's do ourselves a little recap, and then we'll dive right into the episode. Last time on Dicey Situations, we found our gang in the heart of the Belging Bog, continuing their search for the remaining missing scouts and a way to bring the wed. Unfortunately, they offended the baggy-neck forest guardian by offering him a pamphlet printed on paper. After taking a long rest, they were awakened by a loud explosion deeper into the bog, and the boys hopped on Glebnor as he once again ran into danger with his giant gooey shoes. They discovered a massive crater riddled with smaller divots full of a familiar green slime. While investigating these strange puddles, the boys came face to face with a menacing sponge. This cursed dry spirit almost sucked all the liquid from Glebnor and Theo with its water siphon attack, but after some slashes and bullets, they were able to defeat it. Crumbling to dust, the spirit returned to the ruins of a wizard's tower. The gang were able to sneak past some mud golems and scale the ruined tower, but they've just been attacked by a strange red slime. And as we begin our battle tonight, Theo, you are first in initiative. Go for it, my guy.
All right. The slime is right up on Tooluuga.
It's right up on Tooluuga. I'll say you guys are all within 5 feet of each other. You're all at the top of this little tower. Unless you want to change it.
Are we in the tower, or are we like peering through the window?
Picture like this. So you guys are on, it's a ruined tower that's kind of sticking out of the side of the crater, and you're like at the broken top of it. So you've kind of climbed over.
It's not so much a window, but more of a missing wall.
Exactly. It's kind of like the top floor almost fell off. It's probably somewhere deeper in the crater in the mud, but you guys are like looking down into a tunnel, basically, and this red slime just rocketed up onto Tooluuga.
And it looks like it's going to attack Tooluuga?
Yeah, it is made a like spiky pseudopod that it looks like it's about to like lash out with.
Gotcha. Probably just Tooluuga, duck! And I'm gonna shoot.
Where?
That's a miss. That's a 9.
A 9 hits.
A 9 does it? Okay. That's good to know. That's 8 piercing damage.
Okay. That is going to be Glebnor.
I'm gonna actually like get a little bit away from them, just like 10 feet to like the left.
So the way it is you're kind of climbing over this wall into like a little tunnel.
Oh, it's not.
So if you were to climb in deeper, you would probably start sliding down, or you can kind of try to like get to another side of the wall you've climbed up on and kind of dangle off it.
Actually, I'll slide down.
Oh, sick. Okay, yeah. You flip over the wall. Give me like an acrobatics check.
14.
You like flip around the wall and start sliding down this like, stone tower. It's still like slick with mud, even though this dry spirit has kind of been, absorbing a lot of the moisture in the air here. But yeah, you're able to slide down and you land at the bottom on a bunch of bones into this skeleton. You can give me an investigation check now that you're down there.
It's a 17.
Oh, okay. So you look down. This is definitely the corpse that this dry spirit must have come from. It seems that red slime was attached to this just a moment ago before it slithered away. And I'll say again, you're like about 30 feet down now. You kind of slid down the side of this. Again, it just looks like a skeleton. I'll say with that high of investigation, what you can definitely tell is that the robes they're wearing are incredibly old. They're like almost like dust. And with you landing on it, kind of, they've like crumbled into ash, essentially. But yeah, that is going to be Glebnor.
Daddy?
Yes, son?
I know this slime.
Do you?
He looks familiar.
Does he?
It's kind of like me, but red.
Well, yes.
In Celestial, I call out to the slime. What's the deal?
Can I get a persuasion check?
To get an answer on what's the deal?
I mean, if it wants to have a conversation with you.
17.
You can see that the slime is like...
Your move, DM!
I mean, just because it's open to hearing you talk, I suppose, as it's still trying to reach its pseudopod like spiky little tendril into Tooluuga's mouth. It kind of just takes a moment, glares up. There is this sort of moment where you think it may be semi-sentient, but can't make words or anything. It's still formless, it's just red, viscous little creature. And it's still trying to dive into Tooluuga's mouth and like rip his mouth open.
I don't like what you're doing to Daddy. It's clobbering time. I'm gonna use my slime hammer.
Yeah, go for it.
Does a 14 hit?
14 does hit. Incredibly low AC on this bad boy.
Oh, it's just slime.
It's just slime.
So that's a 1 bludgeon, 3 acid, and then I'm gonna sneak attack him because me and Daddy are toy.
Again, like on the record.
Another
I
1.
do not care for you calling him daddy, but that is completely up to you.
Another 1. And then
What's your total? How about that? There are a lot of numbers at me.
5.
5. Okay.
And then the hammer's a finesse weapon.
Mm-hmm.
2-hand. Stab this motherfucker.
Okay.
7.
7 does miss. 8 is the armor class. Yeah.
And then I'm going to follow my god's suit, but I would like to do an athletics check, see if I can pull Daddy down with me, down the little slide.
That's going to be your action if you want to grab him, and you already used it to smash
Alright.
this thing.
Then I'm going to hang out with Daddy.
Okay, cool.
Yeah,
You can
writhe menacingly at him.
see it like rides back at you. It like
off.
mimics your movements. You see this jelly, you smash it with the hammer, and it kind of like dissipates a little bit. You see some of the jelly just hits the side of the stone wall. It's kind of crumbling there, and exactly. Okay, now we get to do them to each other. This is great. Tooluuga, you're like shaking this red ooze, trying to get it off of your arm. And you see that Glebnor's going to stab it and almost stabs you, and you gotta duck out of the way. That is going to be the slime's turn. He's going to try to slime you, Tooluuga.
Like my son hasn't done that before.
It's actually gonna miss with an 8. You see, it's trying to get
He's
inside.
seen this slime action before.
Yeah, you're like an expert at defending yourself against weird slime tactics. You easily push this thing away and like grab it like in the center mass and kind of it's like wriggling trying to get out of your hand. It is your turn.
I speak to it in Celestial. What is wrong? Tell me!
You just get a really menacing vibe from this thing. It just wants to kill you. It is angry. It seems like all of the like whimsy and joy that Glebnor was born with is completely absent in this creature. This is like hate as jello. It's just here to kill you.
Son, I'm sorry.
It's okay, Father.
This one's lost.
We can't save them all, Father, but hopefully,
It's a
if we
shame.
continue to spread the word of Bli Bli, someday.
Maybe we can save. And then I just stab at it with my short sword.
Cool. And actually, while that's happening, if really quickly, Glebnor, could you actually make a DC 13 con save since you hit it with a melee attack?
Maybe I don't attack.
Just real quick.
Nat 20.
You fight off whatever it was, because when you hit it, a little bit of the red kind of splashed onto your arm.
Onto my green.
Yeah, onto your green, but the green quickly absorbs.
Oh no, purple.
Yeah, you fight off the purple as quickly as possible. You do realize, though, you didn't even notice it. You took an extra 4 necrotic damage.
Ouch.
Sorry. So go ahead, Tooluuga.
Daddy! As I sizzle.
You know, it's been so long. I'm gonna soup this man.
Okay.
And I just shove my hand in him and try to soup him with inflict wounds.
Tight.
He just caused necrotic damage on me.
That's a nat 1, I miss.
I'll say with your nat 1, I'll give you a little info, so it's not completely as brutal. You go to put your hand in him to do the necrotic damage, and you can tell that he's about to resist the necrotic, and you pull your hand out before you cast a spell.
Ooh.
That's a sketchy nat 1.
Well, only thing left I can do is old reliable.
Yeah, you're like, magic won't fix this. You go to punch it.
That's a nat 20 on the punch.
Violence always the answer.
If he didn't like a left, I'll give him a right.
For 10.
For 10.
10 bludgeoning.
Yeah, it is, you like hit it, and again, it's like punching jello. It just splatters red all over the place. I need a DC 13 con save, Tooluuga.
Nat 1.
Oh no.
Oh no, Daddy!
So right off the rip, you take 4 necrotic damage.
Okay.
And as you pull your hand back, some of that red, it like sinks into your like kind of fishy skin. You can see your hand turns like a little bit red.
Just call me Cletus.
You were infected with some seeping death.
I feel like I've been infected by some seeping death, guys.
Don't like the name of that, Daddy.
So,
Neither do I.
until you get this disease cured, At the end of each long rest, you need to make another DC 13 con save. If you don't make the DC 13 con save, you will roll a D4, and that is what your dexterity score is reduced by for the day.
Can
you
I
can see you're a little infected with this. Also, if that reduction brings your dexterity to 0, you will die, and you will turn into an ooze.
Well, there goes being a monk.
conflicted?
You look very excited about that.
Can I form luscious lips and try and suck it out
Why the lips gotta be luscious, son?
for extra suction?
I'm gonna need a lesser restoration spell cast on this young man, unfortunately.
Luscious lips failed.
I don't think
We gotta find that tree.
I don't think there is a roll high enough, unfortunately, with your luscious lips that could suck this ooze out of his palm.
Well, there goes being a monk, guys.
But yeah,
We'll fix you, Daddy.
I will say your hand does look kind of badass. It's just like red now. You have like one red fist.
The little glove.
If only it could still punch like it used to.
Cool. That is going to be you, Theo. You're down to the base now, about 30 feet up top. These guys are scrambling, fighting this ooze.
If we just don't sleep, it can't get your dex.
I just never sleep.
So it's 30 feet up. Is it obscured by anything?
Just them being maniacs fighting it, but no, it's not heavily obscured by anything or anything like that. And I think with your sharpshooter feat also,
Oh, right.
it would
about to
blow
forgot
you
that I had
leaves
sharp.
all
Yep,
over
it would
us.
not even get half cover. Yep.
Yep.
Yeah, we're about to be splattered.
All right. I'm going to shoot it with. It's a nat 20.
Yo, hey Theo, I gave you a gun. How about you settle down with it? Because you've been popping off on me.
That's 10 piercing damage.
Okay. Theo, you like see that as Tooluuga has like pulled this thing off of his fist, and there's still pieces of it everywhere. You can see that there is this little bit of the blob that is left, and as you can tell it's going to try to infect Glebnor again. You shoot it right out of the air, and it just splatters across. My supplicating ooze is dead. It's okay. I just wanted to infect one of you.
Yeah, it's gonna suck for me.
Bli Bli! Daddy! Thing! Hospital!
What the hell's a hospital?
We gotta find the
Medicine man! Or woman.
I know. If we can find the tree, we could probably get help.
Oh, oil puke. That's the answer.
Exactly. Oil puke is always the
Fuck!
answer.
The tree hates us!
Well, yeah.
Okay, we gotta stick to the mission. We gotta find the wet, kill the dry, and then whatever that explosion was.
Alright, so, Daddy.
Tooluuga, you should probably get down here. I
Hop
think
on
I
my back,
found
Daddy.
the
Oh, wait.
You just slip.
the
Form
bones.
of gentle slide.
I ride my son.
A slide. Don't look at me like that. A slide is basically big flat. You can make a little slide down.
Gentle slope, though. I want a nice, easy grade. I don't want Daddy getting hurt, going too fast, none of that shit.
I don't want to end up like that police officer going through this.
Yeah, exactly. I don't want him to come out at the end of my tube slide all unconscious.
All right, let me get an athletics check just to see how well you're able to cradle your father to the bottom of this broken tower.
10.
It's fine.
Good enough.
He kind of speeds up a little at the end, but you kind of catch him before he flies into Theo. And you guys can see now that Theo is at the base of this tower, standing in like a crumpled pile of bones.
Yeah, I didn't even get off them. I'm still standing.
He's just knee deep in corpse.
Pretty much. What do you guys like to do?
I like to look around and see if there's anything under these or in these bones.
Yeah, everyone give me an investigation check.
A 19 investigation.
Nice.
1.
Okay, good. 6.
You two are like, sweet, bones.
I love bones.
Gross.
But you kind of looking at it, Theo, you can see that this definitely must have been the wizard of this tower. He had, even though it's all ripped up and kind of destroyed, he was wearing kind of like strange robes. And there's a little wizard hat, barely held together with, very classic wizard hat. It's got little stars on it, you're old fashioned, it's nice. But yeah, this is definitely the corpse. It seems that this strange alien slime attaching itself to this corpse must have turned this creature into a strange dry spirit. But you guys do know that Kind of need to perform some kind of religious rites on this thing if you'd like to put the spirit to rest, or it will return in a few days.
Bli Bli, you're the god.
I have no magic.
5 days. We have 5 days, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's a cleric.
How far away is Tentacle?
Son, I think I can do this.
You're gonna use the power of Bli Bli? The radiant power of Bli Bli?
Yes.
Exactly.
I believe.
Yeah.
I wink at the...
Okay.
I look on in wonderment.
I was going to make you roll, but look on in wonderment won me over. Yeah, can I get, you can either do a religion check or, I guess like maybe just like a raw wisdom. Kind of, wisdom is your kind of spell magic kind of comes from there.
9.
Put your hands over this corpse and start muttering prayers to Bli Bli. And there's just a moment where you're like, I hope this works, because I don't think our friend Theo's a god. In that moment, you're like, oh shit, I fucked it up. You can see the magic kind of tingles away a little bit. What are the two of you guys doing? As you can see that your friend here is like struggling to keep his magic focused.
I'm continuing to look on in wonderment at the greatness that my father is bestowing upon the bones.
Can I do some type of, like, religion or arcana check? Put a hand on Tooluuga's shoulder and just be like, you can do this.
I would also like to encourage Daddy.
Okay, so I will go ahead and make an arcana check for me. This will be interesting. Because I don't like that I've already really established a pretty clear pathway for you guys to do some stuff, but...
This is a 9.
Okay.
I can encourage Daddy?
I will let you give him the help action, so you'll get to roll again. And with only a 9, you can only add a d4 on top.
I'm a true believer.
Okay.
So it's just the wisdom.
So
the
roll,
plus 3.
yeah, roll one more time, and then add a d4 from Bli Bli.
Okay. All right. D4. 15.
Even Cobbler's excited. And with Theo's hand on your shoulder and Glebnor's big, just doe eyes so excited, and the little meowings of Cobbler inside your bag of holding, you kind of put your hands over this corpse, and there's this glowing white light kind of comes off of your fingertips. And you can see that the skeleton, this like green necrotic energy that was lightly radiating off of it, just kind of fades away. And in this little moment, I need everyone to make just a perception or nature check for me.
Nat 20.
17.
Would either one get me different types of information, or is it the same?
Nature will kind of give you the most immediate thing. Perception will let you see maybe... Yeah, I don't know how to describe it, but go ahead.
I
you
nat
can pick
20
either
for
one.
perception.
That's
Nat 20
an
perception.
11 nature check.
Okay. And what'd you get again? 17?
17.
Nature or perception? Perception.
I'm so dumb.
Okay. So, this like really amazing moment kind of happens. But Theo, the first thing you notice is that the tower feels like it's moving. And the dry air is no longer so dry. And with a 17 perception, Glebnor, you look up the tower and kind of slide your way up. You can see that all the dry air and all the moisture is starting to return to the crater.
Muggy.
And the tower is starting to sink and fall into the mud and like push into the bottom of the crater.
I'm gonna shoot back down and motion to my back.
Yeah. You guys hop on Glebnor's back. Give me just an athletics check to get them both up top.
11.
Okay. It's a little bit of a struggle, and it takes you a minute, and you can feel the tower starting to slide, and you guys are starting to panic a little bit because the tower is starting to fall into the crater. With no more dry spirit to harden up the substrate mud that made this crater, it's starting to melt, basically. Glebnor, what are you doing?
Don't like that.
I'm gonna roll a d20.
Okay. For what?
Luckiness.
Okay.
I'm not that lucky. I'm gonna abandon my dreams of a fan boat
Okay.
and lobby for form of canoe.
Okay.
Which is just kind of like a folded up big flat.
Okay.
So water doesn't get in it.
Here's a small issue with this. You can turn into a canoe. I will let you get into the form of a canoe.
Great.
You guys are still going to be in a canoe falling at a tower at like hundreds of feet into the ground.
I dragged him up to the top.
Yeah, well, the tower is falling, so it's going to fall down with you. You're just going to be in the canoe and try to ride the mud wave? Oh, wait, never mind. That sounds cool. Okay, hold on. Never mind. I'm back on. I'm back on board.
We're going to be totally extreme.
Okay, so I will have to say, I got to also honor Tooluuga's nat 20. So what you saw, Tooluuga, with that perception check, is when you were at the top of this tower, so you guys were kind of coming up and the tower starts to fall, you look out on the horizon and see where the smoke was rising. And what you see, Tooluuga, is a massive metal structure deep in the swamp. And there is like smoke rising from it. And this massive metal structure looks like it's been buried probably for centuries in this mud. Now it is starting to sink deeper into the mud. But from where, with a nat 20, I will say, you can see that this massive metal structure appears to be an arc of some kind. And all over the sides of this arc, you can see Dreadforge. So now we're going to deal with the canoe situation. Okay.
Father, Bli Bli, enter my canoe.
I can swim.
You're the motor.
I can't, so I'm just gonna hop right in.
He hops in, I'm in back kicking.
Yeah.
Okay.
I say we get out of here. Toot sweet.
Here's the part of the game where I have to decide what skill is associated with riding a jelly canoe down a tower through a mudslide.
I feel like you gotta be pretty dexterous. you try to balance in a canoe?
Shit, I should have turned it into a dinghy.
Okay. Let's get around to dex saving throws. How about those? How's that sound, everybody?
Well, it makes sense. You were in canoe?
13?
Those things are hard to
Nat
save.
20.
Okay.
22.
All right. For a big Glebnor,
I can canoe. Can you canoe?
it's a little rocky. So you being the boat, which is great, you're also the bottom of this, so you're hitting like stumps and trees and like bits of like bramble and like, you know, swamp essentially as you're flying through the mud.
I wish I was a raging canoe right now.
You're gonna take 6 bludgeoning damage as like chunks of rock are hitting into you as the tower is falling. The tower finally slams and hits into a wave of mud that you guys are riding. Tooluuga, you put your legs back and start kicking mad hard in the mud, trying to steer this thing so that you know, that way Glebnor doesn't take as much damage.
Be my rudder, daddy.
And you guys look, and fucking out of nowhere, Theo is perfectly like doing like a full like surfboard pose in the middle of the canoe.
I was envisioning Washington crossing.
Great, guys.
Oh wait, that's way better. Theo, you've never looked more like a god than in this moment.
If only someone was here to see this.
We'll tell the tale, Father.
Yeah, and you guys are rocketing actually in the direction of this like arc sinking through the mud.
I want to go away
I'd
from
like
that
to
thing.
now relay what I'm saying. So, big explosion, giant metal structure. Not as bad until I noticed the mean-looking robots lining the sides.
How many blasters do you need?
Are they alive?
They look like they were moving.
They were schmoving.
Oh, that's not good.
I thought these things have been dead for... Mommy told me it was like 700 years.
Yeah, it's supposed to be.
How do batteries still work?
Well, I mean, I'll hold up the gun. I mean, it works.
The dry bringer dried the batteries.
Oh, no.
I'm gonna need a sleight of hand or survival check from Tooluuga to keep steering the boat as you guys are having this conversation while rocketing down a landslide, essentially.
Which one would be funnier?
I'm gonna leave that up to you.
I'm gonna survival.
Okay.
16?
Okay, 16. You're able to steer Glebnor away from like careening off a cliff, flying into a bunch of trees. At one point, he almost goes into a whirlpool of like mud and like those little mephit creatures. You gotta pull him away from that. Yeah, and you guys are at this point. It's kind of eventually this landslide has sort of stopped, and you've kind of made your way out of the crater and are now just almost like on a stream of mud heading toward that steel structure. What would you boys like to do?
It's a stream of mud?
Yeah, you're
I
basically...
maintain canoe form. I don't want Theo to drown. Oh,
Yeah.
my God.
Well, thank you for that.
Of course.
I'll say that the This bog has truly become a bog again. No more of that like thick clay everywhere. You're now kind of in running water as all of the like strange necrotic magic that sponge was using to absorb the liquid out of this region is now flooding back to life.
Shouldn't we be heading home? Wait, wait, hold on. The scouts.
Yes, the reason we're here.
Yeah, they probably drowned.
Hold on.
I mean,
Or they're there.
Pilgrimage.
they probably drowned. That's what we can tell Yarno.
I'm curious now, though.
But so am I, but...
Daddy, don't you want to make Pop Mean Gene so proud? We
We're-
brought the wet!
Son, we're ahead of schedule.
Yeah, how many days has it been? Like,
I'm keeping
3?
track, but I don't know if you boys have.
Yeah.
Form of...
been
still
about-
the boat until we hit land, but I'm going to turn it into a calendar eventually.
It's been about 3 days.
I think.
We have 4. Let's just take a peek, dip our toe. We don't like it, we leave.
I pseudopod raised my hand from the middle of the boat as to not create any holes in the boat.
Okay.
Yes, son?
If it took us... I mean, I'm a dumb slime, but it took us 3 days to get this far. Wouldn't it take us 3 days to get back?
No, son, that's ridiculous. We won't be fighting a sponge that way.
That's a good point.
The
I'm with
journey...
Daddy.
The journey still takes a while.
It's like a day if we hoof it.
Yeah, I think you want to hoof it because you know, red hand.
Go, goo shoes.
Do I, in character, know what this goo is doing to me?
You can definitely tell that you want to get a lesser restoration soon. It
Well-
feels weird.
The closest thing to heal this is that tree my son scared away.
Father, I'm sorry.
Tooluuga, you can actually make a history check with advantage for me.
Gonna need that advantage. So 14.
With a 14. You know that Mameen is a cleric, and you've seen her use lesser restoration before. If you were to get to Mameen, she could get rid of whatever this weird boo-boo is.
Relay that info to me.
Okay, mom knows how to heal this.
Stick your hand in the bag.
Okay, I want to... This is not a real two-way pack of folding. I love the idea that Mameen Ploopploopleen has a taqueria on the other side of this bag. It's not real. It's just a bit.
Oh, I assume Cobbler's been hanging out with her and like
No,
going back and
they
forth.
don't have a fun side story going on. You have a brick in a taco shell in your backpack.
Fine.
I knew that's where you were going, and I knew he wasn't going to allow it.
Come on. You're basically a fan boat right now because you're flying down a mudslide. This is
I
as
have
much
a daddy engine. I'll
this is
have
as
you
much
know.
crap as I will give. Speaking of daddy engine, since you're the one steering everyone to Tooluuga, where are you leading these guys in this boat?
Oh, against their will, I'm taking us through that.
Well, I mean, I was going to follow daddy regardless.
Of course.
I'm in the boat, so I can't do anything about it.
Like, I'm a man sitting in a boat.
You guys rest up.
Can I rest while I'm a boat?
I will let you guys take a short rest.
Even while I'm kicking back there.
You're gonna have to make an athletics check for me to be able to do both of those things at once.
He's a fish.
I got a +0. It's just straight luck. Here we go. Nat 20.
Yeah, man, you're a fish. You can swim all day, boy.
Oh, I love it here.
Yeah, you're having like a great time.
This is wonderful.
The bog is now full of swamp water once again. Everything's wet. You can see that as you guys are flying down these like new like riverbeds that have kind of been created. Yeah, there's like a bunch of like little fey creatures you can kind of see like on the sides of the on the land, kind of
do I
gazing
see
at
these
you.
creatures?
You can see little eyes kind of blinking.
As we go. Yes, Bli Bli, the bringer of the wet, has saved the bog.
All hail Bli Bli. Praise be. Bli Bli.
I'm just holding the gun in the air.
I'm as kicking. I hold the holy symbol, just kind of.
Yeah, he's Washington crossing the Delaware with a gun in front of him.
As you guys fly down this swamp river, you can see a couple of bullywugs, these little frogmen, kind of come up out of the side of the bank, and they're like, "Who is Bli Bli?
You're looking at him.
You bring rain?
I did.
Cool, thank you."
Bli Bli, the god who killed the bringer of the dry.
You see all of them just start cheering. Oh!
Tell all your friends.
Bli Bli! Go ahead and roll a D100.
Yes, sir.
91, baby.
What in the fuck?
We're gonna go with my son's roll.
Glebnor.
I just burst pamphlets out of me.
Metal pamphlets now, by the way.
They're like, ow! These shards of metal. It's like you threw a bunch of license plates at them. Oh, what a fine message! You see, these bullywugs. Okay, so what the 91 is, at some point, 91 of these frog people will have turned to believe in Bli Bli. And what they will like draw on cave walls for decades and centuries to come is a boat with beautiful blue eyes powered by a fish man with a guy holding a pistol. You can go ahead and update your follower count. I don't know if you guys are keeping track of that. I swear to God, I'm not.
Yeah, it's 183. Gotta keep it all up in the noggin. The
All
Pope
right.
needs to know.
Oh, we discussed he's our Pope.
Oh, of course, yeah. You don't think I'm not like working on a homebrew of a Pope hat for you? Okay, so
I wrote down the numbers, so we'll have it.
you guys are cruising through this swamp water toward this like
Fucking gaming followers.
yeah.
We're short resting, right?
Yeah, you guys can take a short rest. You can see all these little frogmen have kind of come out of the bushes and are cheering as you guys go toward this big chunk of metal. Bli Bli! It's easy to say as a frog! That's kind of maybe the big selling point, if I'm being totally honest.
Good job, son.
Thank you, father.
I shoot out my fist to fist bump my son.
Pseudopod.
Nice. Okay, let's get a perception or investigation check as you start approaching this thing.
18.
Okay.
It's a 6.
11.
All right.
I'm the eyes on the front of the boat.
Theo, you're just like really enjoying this moment. You're standing proud on the boat as all these little frogmen cheer your new name. You're not really focusing as much on the destination as you are on the journey, if that makes sense.
Yep.
You're kind of in the back, so you're having a little bit of trouble seeing up ahead, but Glebnor, as the eyes on the boat, as you guys are coming up toward this arc, you can see that it's still sinking at this moment, but it is huge. As you've gotten closer, this thing is probably...
Like a cruise ship?
Yeah, imagine like a yacht cruise ship in the middle of a swamp, but the yacht cruise ship is made out of like dwarven dread steel tech from like centuries ago. It's like this giant behemoth of a structure. And I will say, with a 17, you
18.
can see... Oh, 18. You can see, as you get closer, that there is a large exploded hole in the side of the ship where the black smoke is coming from. At the base of this arc, you can see that there are a bunch of Dreadforged watchmen. There are these, they look different than the dwarven one that you found earlier. They're kind of like taller and lankier. They look a little strange. They all have, they're holding these big, like long halberds. You can see that they're pushing zombies back away from going into the ship or the arc.
Do I know what a bunch is? Is there a solid number I can make out of robo sentries?
Yeah. Of the 17, I'll say you can tell, there's like a lot of them, like a dozen. Like a straight, there's a bunch of them. They're all pushing and prodding.
And
these,
they're pushing, prodding an equal amount of zombies, I'd imagine,
exactly.
or more.
Yeah. They're all kind of pushing again, and you can see they're kind of as panicked as a robot can look, that the ship is sinking behind them. But again, up on, say again, 60 feet or so up the side of this giant arc, there is that big hole with the steam coming out. But this thing is sinking, so if you guys want to jump in here, you're gonna have to move quick.
Daddy, Bli Bli, there's a fuck ton of robots up there, and they got zombie problems.
Son, I have an idea.
But I also noticed there's a big hole with smoke. A little ways up. But, I mean, if we really kick hard and I can maybe become a ramp as well,
Okay.
we might be able to rocket into the hole.
We smash and grab, son, just like the potions.
Ooh!
Do those zombies look like the ones that puked on you before?
Identical.
Yeah, they do.
We don't have to deal with the zombies. We just go.
We'll let the robots deal with them.
I don't think that's how that works.
just grab what's not nailed down and let's book it.
Think of all the Bli Bli Blasters you could make.
Can I get?
Let's go.
Can I get a nature or perception check?
From all of us?
All of us, yeah. Whatever is higher for you.
15?
Okay.
18.
13.
Okay. I will say that you notice, Lucas, you're kind of steering the boat toward it. There is like, I will say there is a big cake crop piece of mud that does look to be in the shape of a ramp.
Hold on, guys. I kick as hard as I can.
Okay. So we're going to call that athletics or acrobatics.
Okay.
Glebnor.
I'm going to use athletics to... Oh, wrong. Yeah.
I'm assuming not at advantage.
No.
With an 11, can I make some baby wings? Maybe catch a little air on this?
An 11 will be a negligible amount of baby wing.
I rolled
Sure.
a 7 on acrobatics.
Okay. Theo, anything you can somehow contribute to this meeting?
Can you...
Not one bit.
I did warn Theo
Wait a
to
minute.
brace himself, so if there's any check for surviving a fall.
Bli Bli! What if you shoot your blaster backwards past Daddy for a little oomph?
Sure. I'm
Okay.
gonna shoot behind us.
All right.
Does he have to make a check to see if he misses me?
Can I get like
No.
a...
I imagine he's at the back of the boat. You're hanging on to the edge. He's standing.
All right, so...
I don't want to get Daddy shot.
So what basically what's happening is you are trying to Bli Bli Blast. Is that what's going on right now?
Basically, yes.
Okay. I'm going to need an Arcana or Religion check to somehow power your blaster up enough.
I'm gonna go religion just because I'm supposed to be a god here. It's a nat 20.
Rocket boat!
Oh, please tell me.
Okay. So you can see, Theo.
Just so you see.
Oh, I'm looking right at it. It's a 21.
How's it feel, Ryan?
Feels bad. You can see there is this mud ramp. It looks like if you were to hit it fast enough, you could get right over this fucking horror show outside and get right into that hole. But it's such a it's so hot. It's
threading the needle.
It's threading the needle so hard, and you can see Tooluuga's kicking, but his legs look like they're getting tired. He just probably doesn't have enough like boost to really get you the speed you need. Glebnor's like trying to like get little wings out, hoping that that'll help. And you're like, I need to shoot this gun so goddamn hard that we rocket it. And somehow there is, as these two are looking up at you, they believe you can somehow do this. And in the moment, so do you. So you point the gun behind the boat and you can feel the gun charging up with this arcane energy. And as you fire it, it is like a rocket went off and you guys start careening toward this ramp at unimaginable speeds. And you sail through the air over dozens of zombies and machines battling in the swamp and fly into a hole in the side of the ark and land prone in the middle inside. I fucking love this game.
I'm gonna arise and hold, like still lying on my bed, hold the holy symbol.
184 followers.
I really can make a god. Bli Bli, what's that thing in your hands?
It's just a gun.
You are the god of guns. By God, are you the god of guns, Bli Bli?
Just sitting there like,
A divine miracle.
I am the god of guns.
185.
Because we start believing it now.
For those counting at home, we're up to 185. Okay. How do
I mean, you can't deny after that.
How do I recover from that is the real question. Okay, let's get a perception check. You guys just landed in boat form inside this ark.
7.
21.
60.
I'm a boat.
Okay, you're still trying to turn from a boat back to normal inside as you guys are getting up. Theo, gun up, eyes down the hallway. And Tooluuga, you kind of pop right up too. You have a new athlete thing so you can pop up from prone extra fast. So you kind of do a little kip up and get up real quick. You guys are looking down a hallway and it is the most metal you've ever seen in your entire life. Everything here is made of steel. and it's this black dwarven steel. Does anyone here speak Dwarvish by any chance? I don't think we do. I think we've got a lot of guys that can talk to gods, but not dwarves.
Is there any minotaur in here?
It's
a labyrinth ship?
Labyrinth-like, but there is unfortunately no minotaur in front of you.
It's gonna come in handy eventually, guys.
And you can see that you're looking down this long hallway, and you can feel the ship I'm calling it a ship because that's what it is, but slowly kind of sinking into the mud a little bit. You guys have time, but you can definitely tell if you're gonna raid this place, you should do it quick. I will say though, Theo, what you realize with your high perception check, the explosion in the side of this arc was done by a grenade.
Guys, the scouts might actually be here.
Told you.
And
Daddy was right.
Tooluuga, you got a pretty high perception check too, right?
Yeah, it was 16.
16. As you go, told you get a smell on the wind of kobold blood.
Okay, all right, maybe. They are here. Just might be everywhere.
They're all over the place.
Well, someone had to set off the grenade, so I mean, I don't think the robots are going to do it. So someone had to be alive at least like
Grenade.
a couple hours ago.
Yes.
That's the ball Daddy has, right?
Correct.
Exit strategy?
We'll pin it.
I'm gonna
I'd like to grab a. How secure are these like black dwarven steel?
It's like you're like in a metal hallway. So you're saying how secure is the wall?
Well, because I want to like see if I can tear like a. Well, I say tear, but get a sheet of it as like a souvenir.
Okay. That would take longer than I think you have to like rip a section of wall off.
I'm gonna be a sneaky fast slime.
Okay.
I rolled a 24 stealth.
Yep.
I'm just gonna like dart into the rooms real quickly and see what's about.
Awesome. Give me some perception checks. With the 24, you do it. You guys see the Glebnor, who's usually like really large, has gone into full puddle form and is now sinking through down the hallway trying
But
to
I'm
find
moving so
things.
fast, I don't really pick up a lot of what's going on because I rolled a 5.
I guess I follow behind, double checking his room. Son, stop! You're so fast, son. Slow down.
You can see that. Theo, what are you up to? So
I'm
these two run
following.
down the hallway.
I'm begrudgingly following them because
Yeah.
I didn't want to be here to begin with.
Yeah, I think you were in like.
He's our hostage now.
You were in like a real, like, kind of like almost like military stance in this hallway, and now they're just running down the hallway in front of you as you were trying to get cover and kind of like get a
To
position
be fair,
going.
I'm a pretty flat slime.
Yeah, you get in
Sneaking.
there.
So I guess I'll probably be double checking rooms that he's
Yeah,
just
and,
zipped past.
there aren't even many rooms as you guys are going down these hallway. It's like just a metal.
Oh, it's just a metal.
You're just looking at metal hallway as you kind of come around the corner. There are some of rooms, but what you notice right away as you round the corner that Glebnor is not looking at. Glebnor has gotten like really focused on like a bucket in the corner, and he's just kind of like zoned in on that in a room. But the first room you look into, you can see a dead kobold on the floor.
Dad, we can use this to carry some of the wet back.
I hang my head out to Theo, who I'm assuming is just like slowly kind of making his way
Yeah,
down.
I'm like coming down, but like keeping an eye out for anything around.
Good news, Theo.
Oh,
And then bad
would love
news.
some. Oh, well, yeah, there it goes.
We found a kobold. It's dead.
Yep, that's right.
Daddy?
Yeah.
Does it have a backpack?
Yeah, I was going
Does
to
it
ask.
have
Does,
background?
does
Can I
it
get a
have
quick
any-
investigation check? Actually, can I get an investigation check from Glebnor? Investigation or perception. And for you, can I actually get a medicine check.
Medicine?
Yeah.
20.
Nat 20.
Okay. This kobold has died within the last day, probably.
Okay.
What you notice is that it has these like deep, like serrated cuts into its body. It looks like it got cut clean in half at one point. And there's lost a lot of blood very, very quickly. Yeah, this was definitely the other kobold in the scout crew.
I still rifle its pockets.
Yeah.
With the 20?
With the 20? Yeah, you look and you find its scout pack. This was definitely, this guy kept his pack, unlike the other one who lost it and died in the swamp. But you look through the pack. Go ahead and roll a d6.
Theo,
6.
6 health potions.
Ooh! I'm gonna hang on to some of these because I
well,
need
they
them
are. You
often.
found them. They're yours, son.
Well, I mean, you got the bag, and I just got a floating cavity. But yeah, I'm gonna hang on to these.
Theo, this guy, He's been through it.
I'll finally walk into the room and just be like, what the hell are you talking about?
Something's been through him, it looks like.
He's been like sawed in half.
That doesn't sound good.
That's why I say he's been through it.
Yeah, why are we here?
Smash and grab. Next room.
I got potions!
Okay. Give me let's call a survival check to kind of like navigate this ship quickly.
Well, because we gotta find the half orc.
Do we?
1?
That's a 1.
18.
Okay.
What kind of check?
A survival to see if you can navigate the hallways.
Bumping into walls.
It's a 9.
You can see that you're kind of held back a bit, Theo, because Glebnor is just like seeing if he can fit in the bucket. Just getting really distracted on this.
How much wet can we fit in this? Let me test.
But Tooluuga, you kind of round the corner and you see that there's like a small library in here. All these books. I'll say what's strange about this place is you guys are kind of moving through the hallways now. It doesn't have like some of the old stale smell of the bog in here. It's like almost like clean smelling. And as you go into this library, like these books aren't like rotting away or anything. They look perfectly preserved from whenever this thing hit the mud. This was definitely an airtight chamber, or airtight ark when it sunk, when it was here, essentially, back in when it... You guys know what I'm talking about. It's airtight. It's cool. You're in a library. What's going on? What are you investigating?
How big of a library? Are we talking like...
A smaller one. You could say it's probably like a...
6-7 books tops.
Yeah. Also, you can tell that a lot of the books are on the floor.
Just kidding.
These shelves are kind of knocked over a little bit. And I'll say that you see rounding the corner, there's like a strange little mechanical creature that is like trying to pick the books up and put it inside of its body.
Librarian?
Yeah, you find a little library automaton.
Can I approach it? I'd like to borrow some books.
You see it swings open its little hatch. And you can see that inside the hatch of this little library creature, it's like just a black void, whatever it's putting the books into.
Is it like opening it for me to reach in and grab a book, or
Sure.
is it shoving books?
It's been shoving books into this black void. But it kind of walks up to you and puts its fucking stomach out if you want to put your hand in.
Yeah, I put my hand in.
Okay.
I put in the hand that's messed up.
Daddy, wait!
Okay.
Daddy, no!
Roll let's call it a D10.
You're in a bucket.
D10?
Yeah.
Made my way around, haven't I? It's been a couple minutes.
Yeah, probably.
10.
Okay. You pull out some scrolls. They're like spell scrolls. And you look down with a 10. One of them's Lesser Restoration. You're not high enough level to cast it, but that's the scroll. That's a scroll you need. It's one of them.
All right. This is good, guys. This is very good.
You see the other scroll is a Guiding Bolt scroll, and one of them is a Mending Cantrip spell. Kind of scrawled on it.
Could I ask if it has you got any books about this?
You're just pointing at the room.
Just kind of gesturing to the arc itself and him as a dredge for.
Yeah, I can see it's kind of think of the shape of this thing. It's like a big sphere with little twiggy legs coming out of it. And there's a little hatch in the front that kind of opens up into this void. It has one little tiny robot arm and a little teapot head almost.
Yeah.
It kind of looks at you confused. It doesn't seem like it speaks whatever language you're speaking right now.
Can I hit it with some Celestial?
Sure.
I guess, yeah, I'll try the two other languages. I'll try Minotaur and Celestial.
Okay.
What's the deal?
As you speak Celestial, I actually need you to make a DC 12 intelligence saving throw.
What?
I don't like that.
Dum Glebnor hits the 5.
You take 14 psychic damage. You can see that once it hears Celestial, the little robotic head starts to straighten up a little bit, and you can see where the eye slits would be. It kind of narrows in on you, Glebnor, and it blasts this strange gaze at you.
Don't like that.
Before I attempt to speak Celestial and I see that, I immediately jump to Minotaur.
There's no reaction from Minotaur, surprisingly. I will also let you know, unfortunately, Glebnor, you're going to have disadvantage on intelligence-based checks, saving throws, and attacks until the end of the next turn.
Yeah, that was happening anyways.
Yeah, it's basically your life. And you
Can I speak to it in Draconic and see if there's any...
no change.
I'm gonna chug a posh
Sure.
just before this thing fucking starts attacking us.
I'm gonna. Are there any books still like on the ground?
Yeah, they're kind of like scattered around.
I point to a book and I just try saying history.
You can see it puts a hand in, pulls it out, and hands you a book on Dwarven history.
I grab it. I'm assuming because it's in Dwarven, I can't read it.
Unfortunately, it's in Dwarven.
So I keep it and then I say, I hold it out and I point to dwarf and I say, language.
Can everyone real quick make a perception check for me? Oh, not perception. I'm sorry. Stealth.
Oh, okay.
Oh, thank
You guys
God.
have been pretty loud here.
It's 25.
17.
13.
Okay. Theo, you're kind of like in the doorway watching them try to like communicate with this little strange like library automaton. And you kind of like lean back out of it and you see like walking down the hallway a like Dreadforge soldier walking towards you.
Does he see me?
Sure does. I'm gonna need you guys to roll initiative.
Guys, we got a problem.
Okay, but does he have a... Did he have the book?
Oh, like a dwarven language
Well,
book?
I'm attempting to point to the word that I'm assuming is dwarf on the book and say language.
Okay, gotcha. I will factor that in because he's rolling initiative as well.
4.
22.
Is he gonna rocket the book out at me? Hit me in the head? Thank you! I rolled 13.
All right, boys. Let's get right into this combat. You're in this... I'll set the scene for you here. There's a big square room full of library books. They're kind of all over the floor. Glebnor is kind of like leaning over looking at the little library bot as with Tooluuga, who's kind of holding up a book on Dwarven history and trying to, somehow garner how it can learn Dwarvish. And Theo, as you've kind of like been standing in the doorway, you kind of lean back and you can see walking down the hallway at you with like just intense purpose is a Dreadforce soldier. He's holding a giant halberd and moving right towards you. You're going to go first, though.
How far away is he?
We'll say he's 30 feet down the hall.
All right. I'm going to say, I'll lure this thing away. You get behind him. Try and fuck him up. And I'm going to come out of the door and run down the hall like 30. Before I run the 30 feet, I'm going to do that after I shoot at it.
Oh, sick. So you like dive out, like fire and just run down the hall to kite him down the hallway? Awesome. Yeah, go ahead and make your attack roll for me.
I'm going to do a violent shot with this.
Sick.
That shot is just so violent.
Hopefully
Does
it's
a
just
24 hit?
A 24 does hit.
20 damage.
Okay. Yeah, you just blow a huge section of this thing's shoulder at you, shoulder off, and it's just still walking right at you. It's like still just moving forward, but that's a insane shot. Yeah, that's a lot of damage.
pretty violent.
Yeah, anything else?
No, I'm just going to run down and just kind of try and taunt it like, hey, come here, you stupid robot, you fuck.
You
How do you shit talk a robot?
Bucket of bolts.
You definitely have its attention with 20 damage, say that much. It's now this thing's turn. It is going to move its movement up 30 feet. And it like runs up, and now you guys are in like, look up and you see that Theo's ran down the hallway, and now you see a big robot holding a huge halberd walking down the hall, like through the door frame. He's gonna use his 30 feet, and then I guess he wants Theo, so he's gonna dash after you. But you're still gonna be 30 feet away from him, right? Isn't that how that had worked? Or no, okay.
He would be right up on me if he dashed.
So he's gonna
Wait.
use his full action to dash.
So he doubles his movement.
Yeah, he's gonna. Yeah, so
Okay.
you see that as he got shot in the shoulder, and like gears and pieces of metal are scattered on the ground and like across the hallway wall. This thing is now hoofing it towards Theo. It's very Terminator. It's like running down the hall at you. All right, perfect. That is going to be Tooluuga's turn. This thing does not have a bonus action, so he'll just be running that whole time.
Will it be an action to continue to ask for Dwarven language?
I'll let you make a persuasion check for free.
That one.
This thing looks at you, and you've somehow offended it. I am so sorry.
I'm just trying to learn a new language.
I don't think he's having it, Father.
I hold up like the minute finger, and I chase after the robot that chased it.
Perfect. You just run out, like look around the corner, and I'll say that it's about. You can use your full movement. We'll get you. You have 30 feet of movement, right?
Yeah.
Say it'll be 10 feet to get out of the room. 20 down the hall. You're about 10 feet now away from this robot that has got right up on Theo.
I'm gonna guiding bolt it.
Okay. If you use a scroll, it will be for free. You don't have to use a spell slot for it.
I'll use a spell slot.
Okay. Saving that for reasons I don't like, but okay. Good to know. Good to know.
Goddamn 8.
Yeah, you go to like hit it and like dings off the back of this Dreadforged steel armor. You can see that it's like the thick plate, so it's like still like rising its halberd up to start attacking Theo.
Well, sorry.
Glebnor, you're still in there with the book. I'm gonna need like a persuasion or intimidation check for this library thing to not fuck with you again.
I'm gonna try to intimidate it.
Okay.
Not very well though. 4.
Okay, I will roll its insight. That's a nat 1. It seems more annoyed at Tooluuga for some reason. You don't know what he did, but some combination of pointing must have been like Morse code for fuck you. So he kind of just stomps back amongst the rest of the books. This thing is just like gonna wander away from the battle at this point. What do you like to do?
I'm gonna use my movement, which I have 40 feet, to get right up on the robot.
Okay, sick.
I'm gonna fucking bonk him.
Give it a bonk.
I'll get sneak attack.
Yeah, guys,
Yeah,
Theo's in
Theo's
front
right
of him. Yep. Yeah, Tooluuga, you look down and you can see Glebnor goes like between your legs in his like goo slime form and just go, like rockets down the hall and gets
Get
right
him,
in front of him.
son.
15.
15 does not hit. As you go to hit him with the hammer, he turns around and catches your like pseudopod as you're trying to bring it down on him.
That makes me so mad I go into a rage.
Okay, perfect. That is going to be Theo again.
All right. So with the thing right up on me, I'm going to use Deadeye Shot, but I'm also going to use the Sharpshooter feat to take the -5 penalty.
Okay.
So I have advantage on the roll because of Deadeye, but I take the -5 for the highest roll.
Okay. High risk, high reward. That's how I like to play this game.
So the first roll is a 24, which would be a 19, but rolling with advantage would be a... So yeah, with advantage, a 24 down to a 19. Does a 19 hit?
A 19 hits.
So it's going to be...
Okay, we'll play a fun game that I like to do where I'm going to tell you the number you got to hit right before you roll it. So, this Clockwork Soldier, it has 45 hit points. You did 20 to it, so it has 25 health left. You're going to add 10 to the damage on whatever you roll.
I got 19.
So 19 plus the 10?
No. 9 plus the 10, so 19 total damage.
Okay.
I'm about to get sprayed with bolts.
Okay. You put a shot point blank in this thing's fucking like abdomen.
Yep.
And you see it like almost crumple over. It's still up, but barely. Anything to bonus action or your movement?
I'm going to run 30 feet.
Good fucking call.
So I will take the opportunity attack.
Sure. All right. It's going to make one halberd attack at you. 17 to hit.
17 hits.
Okay. It's going to take 7 slashing damage.
Okay.
As he brings the halberd up and cuts it down Theo's back as he kind of like tries to backtrack down the hall trying to get away from this thing. That is the soldier's turn. Now that it like is holding with one arm, Glebnor, and you're the only one in its melee range, it is going to use its overdrive flurry attack on you.
Don't like the way that sounds.
I was hoping it would chase me.
It is going to make 4 halberd attacks.
It's a good thing you're raging, son.
Thank God I became so enraged.
Okay. First one's going to hit.
Now I'm glad I ran.
Second one's going to miss. Third one's going to hit. Last one's going to hit.
No.
Okay. You're going to take 21 slashing damage, half to 10. As this thing turns and goes into its overdrive mode, makes a ton of slashing attacks at you. It cuts through some of your pseudopods, but you're able to kind of like wriggle out of some of them, and the rage is fighting it off. I'll also say, because it just used that ability, it is going to be stunned until the end of its next turn.
Oh, Let's fuck him up, Daddy.
You can see it. It like seemed like it like pushed itself too far in this like overdrive attack. And it's now like trying to like put itself back, but it's definitely burned through a battery to do that. That is going to be Tooluuga.
What are you doing to my son? Nat 20.
All right.
You strike my son! How dare you!
I mean, you can roll the damage. I think you're gonna get it. You only need
7.
Yeah. What's it look like? What is?
So as my son is wriggling and I see him take this damage, I leap through my son and
I
just
open like curtains to let him through.
Of course.
just like go in with sword over my head, just 2-hand bring it down.
You smash through this dread forge. Its head and torso collapse in on the weight of your giant attack. It crumples to the ground. Theo, you're kind of like getting up, looking up at all this chaos in front of you as the head is like the piece of it is going to roll down the hallway at your foot. Weekend initiative. You guys are insane. That was crazy.
I'm gonna quick take 2 potions, smash them together, and chug them.
Okay, go ahead and roll your health points back.
I guess while my son heals, I'll try once more to go to the library.
Okay, go in the library. Make a perception check for me.
Can I inspect the Dreadforge to see if there's a Dreadforge heart?
Yes, go for it. Give me an investigation check.
18.
18. You look, you can see the library bot is clearly like kind of malfunctioning and weird, and it's like walking into a wall as books kind of spill out from the front of it. If you can try one more time, if you want to make a persuasion check for me.
Yeah, sure.
It's a 15 investigation.
You look, this is like kind of like a grunt soldier, and it doesn't seem to be powered by a strong enough clockwork heart to use for any kind of artifice.
Can I still take it?
You can still take it though, yeah, totally.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
I'm gonna take it and
I was gonna slide a hand
Cool.
that motherfucker if he didn't.
You can see there is a little clockwork circle, kind of similar to the one you took, but it isn't humming with as much magic as the one you found from the Fellforged.
Gotcha. Cool.
He now has 2 of those lesser ones, correct?
No, I only have the one for the gun.
You didn't
and-
take the one off the previous one that wasn't strong enough?
No, there
didn't
wasn't
have
one. The one that we saw earlier, I believe, that was like in the mud, didn't
No,
have
the
one.
centipede had one,
Oh, yeah, no, I didn't take that.
but it's still at the workshop.
Yes.
It is still at the workshop.
Yeah.
Okay. What's that?
19.
19. It looks at you and just like spits a scroll out at you. You catch it. It's a comprehend languages scroll.
Thank you.
Just like powering into a
salute it.
bookshelf.
Thank you.
I'll also say you can all also you all feel that this thing is sinking.
Daddy, might be
and-
time to blow a hole.
Hold on, captain's quarters. Where are they?
And as you look up, Theo, you can
you
see
can talk
that
to this thing
there
now,
is
right?
mud starting to trickle in through the hole you guys came through.
So we should either quickly go out that way or run the opposite. And you blow a hole with that grenade.
Daddy, go to the captain's quarters. I'm gonna go to the hole. I'm gonna big flat over it and stop the mud from coming in.
Okay, perfect.
Okay, yeah, I try to find the captain's quarters.
Go for it.
And I'm big flat.
Glebnor, you run up and big flat on top of the thing and kind of patch up the side of this thing. You look out and without even a perception
eyes.
check, your eyes are they form
They're
the
wherever
side
I
of
need
it.
them to be.
You look out and you can see that the zombies are even sinking and all the clockwork soldiers are sinking under the mud, but you've patched up the side for a bit at least.
Daddy.
We will come back to you. Tooluuga, or Theo, you going with Tooluuga or are you staying in the middle
I'm
kind of?
literally like in the middle, just being like, did no one hear what the fuck I just said?
Don't worry, I got the grenade right here.
I'm gonna go with Tooluuga.
Okay, yeah, you chase after Tooluuga. It takes you a minute, but you do find that they're at the end of one of these hallways. There's a big lavish door. It's unlocked, and as you open it, I guess you guys can give me perception checks in here. Just you two.
How long does it take to use the scroll of comprehend languages?
I think comprehend language is instant. I'm pretty sure.
Can we just kidnap the library bot?
After what it did to you, I don't think we could.
Yeah. I have psychological
And
damage.
how long does it last?
I want to say it should be actually on the cleric spell list, so you'll be able to find it in your spell list, even though you don't have it prepared really.
Spells. No, I don't have it in my list. I'm probably not high enough.
Okay. Oh, you're right. Yeah. So yeah, just make perception checks then as you guys go in the room.
So I'm debating whether to use it and not read the book of Dwarven history and see if I can read something that says valuable stuff here. Or just
Secret pirate
literally
treasure.
ransack
It
everything.
lasts for 1 hour.
It's not worth it. Oh, actually, I don't think I could read a whole book on Dwarven history in an hour.
I got a 15 on the perception check.
Cool.
I'm gonna use a scroll
Awesome.
and see if I can catch anything.
Yeah. Sick.
Still roll the perception, right?
Yeah.
15 with the scroll.
Perfect. So, you guys go in the room. This room is like really torn up. And I'll say what you notice immediately is there is a much like wider, broader looking, almost like Knight Dreadforge that is broken on the ground. It looks like it's been in pieces for a long time. And you can see that in the corner of the room, I'll say because you just used your comprehend languages scroll, you can see there's a lot of dwarven script all over this room, and the skeleton on the ground is clearly that of a dwarf. And there is what appears to almost be like an assassin droid with a blade into this thing. You can tell this is hundreds of years old, this little crime scene you guys have kind of walked upon. It's very clear this droid killed this dwarf while this knight seemed to be trying to defend it. But I'll say with a 15, the thing you immediately notice is that as you look across the room, there is a like glass cylinder, very similar to the one that you saw, Theo, in your sister's basement. It's kind of like the same thing, like a little containment chamber for Dreadforge tech. And what you both see sitting inside is a small little robot who is about the size of a gnome, and he kind of has like the proportions of one. He's fully mechanical, and his eyes kind of light up as you guys come in. Hey, how you guys doing? Hello. I've been here for a long time. I'd really like a ride out if you're offering.
You're in. We gotta go now. What? We have to go now, and he can understand us.
Hi.
Can I do an insight check?
Go ahead.
He's in a jar, Theo. We'll question him after we're done sinking.
Done sinking.
That's a nat 1. I'm just going to go with it.
I guess I might as well. Well, no, I already committed to liking this thing right now.
Hey, buddy, please get me out.
I just grab him and tuck him. No, I don't even put him in the bag. You're staying here?
Okay.
You aren't going to bother Cobbler.
Who's Cobbler?
Shut up.
You guys seem fun. You start running out through the thing. That is where we're going to end tonight's session. Before you guys are frantically trying to escape the sinking ark, holding your new robotic friend. Thanks so much for listening, gang. Catch us on the next episode of Dicey Situations, and don't forget, keep it dicey.
Howdy, Glebnor here, and I just want to say thanks for listening to Dicey Situations. If you liked what you heard, make sure you come back on Friday to listen to our talkback called Situational Awareness, where we break down the episode and you get to know us, the players, a little bit better. And as always, make sure you rate, review, subscribe, and word of mouth actually helps a lot. So if you could tell all your friends, that would be great. Thanks again. Keep it dicey!
This has been a Business Shark production.